now recording.
Right.
Whoa. It's a thing now. Right, so you head back to Leilon, and basically you have a week downtime between sort of adventures, more or less. There are downtime things you can do, such as trying to learn languages and other things that I haven't looked up. It's in one of the player manuals. But I know you can actually do that. And a week passes. The DM rolls a D20. What you need is a 1 or a 2, because Aubrey gets a good stock at the Curiosity Shop on a 1 or a 2. And is there anything you want to do in town in this intervening week? Is there any kind of downtime research you want to do, or?
We can do crafting, recuperating, practicing a profession, researching and training.
Yeah, we don't have to do that now. It's just things that you can be aware of. But in general, is there anything you want to do before I start pronouncing ye next scene, basically the next adventure?
I am quite happy to go to the pub and drink.
And I buy a couple of arrows.
Yeah, you can buy anything up to 25 GP in the shop. You don't have to role play it out. It's like, no, Richard, I want you to invent 10 shopkeeper NPCs and give them each a different voice.
Aye, go on then.
No, all the shops are closed apart from one. And he's a mute, so he just holds up a sign that says, I sell anything up to the value of 25 gold pieces.
Oh, I'm going to try that in the shop.
What?
I'm just going to hold up things saying everything 25 quid.
like Subterranean Homesick Blues.
Yeah.
I've never read this page. That's very sad. I've only read about 3 pages of this book.
Right, well, in that case...
Sorry, Rich, if I say I want to learn Dwarfish, can I?
You can start learning how to speak Dwarven. Rick could even teach you, maybe. And we will look me or Rick will look the rules up in the intervening time, so we're not wasting time. But I know you can learn to speak a new language.
I'm going to spend some time with Rick in the pub picking up some Dwarfish.
Aye.
Well, the first thing anybody does when somebody's teaching them is Rick's going to teach you all of the swear words, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. That's where I started getting curious, because he was swearing like fuck.
It's like, you frickin' Egypts.
As he went from Yorkshire to sort of like Father Ted.
I thought I went Scottish. All right.
I remember you gone Scottish.
I do remember you being quite fluid in your accent, depending on how much you'd had to drink.
I'm never fluid in any of my accents.
You've got to remember to never go full Scottish.
My Liverpudlian is dead now.
You never go full Scottish.
Never go full Scottish, man.
Right, so does anybody else want to learn a language or practice anything? We're not going to do it now. I'll look it up later, but you can start practicing stuff.
I'll learn Normie.
So you want to learn all the languages that somebody in the party already speaks. Am I getting this correct?
I'll learn Orcish.
Haven't you already learnt Orcish?
Well, I'll learn Giant.
He's learned Giantish and Nullish. And so there's nothing else you want to do? We can just cut to the next scene where you are summoned to the town council by the Growler.
Here we go again.
Can you see my growler?
Can you see the Growler? Right, so... I'm not going to talk while crisps are being eaten. You need to learn to either push to talk or mute, honestly. Right, so...
It's a bit of paper that I'm folding for work, mate, so do one.
It's a bit of paper you're folding for work. Okay.
I've just put it in my bag.
That's all right.
So it's not crisps.
Crisps are banned, and I'll be smacking people's hands with rulers like they did at school. Right, so... a young runner comes up bearing a note saying, report to the town council. Now, apparently I've turned into Shrek. Report to the town council. By order of Griselda Copperwright. I don't know if I told you, but to rebuild the manor in Fandolin is going to cost like 11,000 gold pieces. And take the best part of a year to rebuild the top level. So, one must start saving up, I guess.
Maybe we should have like a piggy bank.
I think I like it better as a ruin.
Yeah, it's 11,000 gold to rebuild. This is what the dwarven builder said. He sucked through his teeth first. He was like, well,
that, mate.
Tell you what, I've never seen a building worse. 11,000 gold pieces. That's going to cost. Take up to a year. It's like you've got. It's like you've got subsidence and you've got rot and you've got black mold, kobolds. You've got kobolds in there. You're going to have to get the exterminators in. Right, so you're summoned to the town hall by Griselda, by a small boy bearing an envelope with your names scrawled upon it in her quick dwarven hand. Reporting to the town hall, otherwise it's going to be a very short session tonight. You're shown in, and as usual, Griselda is there, Sergeant Haas, and Marigold. Also is Valdi Estespar, who is a female half-elf, and she's in charge of the fishery concerns of the local area. And she says, well, it's nice to see you again. You seem to have made a friends down in the marsh, and we're very grateful for that. We can do some trading with the lads down there, the scaly fellas. She says, I've got the latest job for you. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it, as you'll be travelling back to your old haunt of Fandolin. Now, I'm sure when you were young lads, you used to hear stories of people riding the range, wearing cowboy hats and boots. We've got something like that in mind for you. The town trading's reopening, and what we need to do is collect some supplies from Fandolin, and what we need to send is our good friend here, and for the first time you notice there's a small gnome in the corner. This is Mr. Wigglehoof. He's our local giant goat breeder, so I'll just let him tell you himself. And Pitchwick's like,
bigger than his head.
hey guys, it's great to see you. Apparently you're the people in town that get things done. Well, what we need to do is we need to drive my herd of giant goats down to Fandolin to trade for things that the town needs. So I hope you're good with a lasso, and you kind of like beans. I mean, we'll provide beans, all the beans you can eat.
I don't like goats, and I don't like beans.
Then you're going to have a thoroughly miserable time.
Now, I like having a miserable time, so that's all right.
Oh, and you seem to have gone Scottish again. I'd heard you were Welsh, or possibly Irish.
I'm a vocal chameleon.
And as usual, this gnome, other than the two gnomes that's in our party, this is a normal gnome, not a forest gnome. They're all a little batty, and they're all big smiley faces with their overly large noses and what have you. I'm sure by the time we get to Fandolin that you'll love goats as much as I do.
When you put that
You
one,
get-
you've got an orange box.
You're never going to look at Davey and go, aye, big lad likes goats, we know that.
The Growler says, in addition, we've got some supplies. We've got a list of supplies that we need. Pickwick's got the list, but we'd like to call at the Shrine of the Lady of Luck in Fandolin and pick up 10 vials of holy water. Obviously, it's no surprise to you lot, though my accent's gone again. Obviously, it's no surprise to you lot that there's been a lot of undead lately, and so that kind of thing would come in very handy for us to have lying about. So if you could just call over, that would be great.
Right, okay.
Are there any questions, lads?
Well, we've got two priests here. Why can't they make holy water?
I don't know. They need something to do. They need the Thunder Shrine to be consecrated, and as for some reason it was submerged and then partially collapsed in water. It needs to be rebuilt, and then the ground needs to be reconsecrated so they can get reconsecrated, so they can get a font in, and then they can start blessing their own holy water. It's different just oiling a bless spell on top of a vial of holy water. It'll be holy for a little while, but this is, properly out of a font. You dip babies in it, kind of holy.
Strange custom, putting a baby in water.
So is there any questions? We can provide you with chaps and cowboy hats. Yeah, Dave's got his own cowboy hat, and I believe he's got a poncho as well.
Make sure the big man has assless chaps. He loves them.
Which one's the big man? Because they're all bigger than you.
Says Alien.
He does love them. Right, well, since you seem to have no further questions, if you can make Pickwick out at the settle of camp, first thing in the morning, sunrise, bring your horses and your saddlebags.
Shepherding goats and picking up holy water.
There's a wagon of supplies to come back, and Pickwick goes, "Oh, but you haven't told them the best bit." And she goes, "Oh no, I'll leave that to you, Pickwick." He says, "Well, the trouble with the big herd of giant goats is they only move about 3 miles a day, so we're going to have loads of times to get to know each other."
How long?
Well, if you have a look at your Sword Coast map, your Sword Coast map there,
Yeah.
it's 5 miles per hex, and they move about 3 miles a day.
And we're going to Fandolin.
Leilon to Fandolin, and he goes, "We'll go as the crow flies because we can't travel the highways with an enormous herd of goats because they wouldn't have anything to graze on the way, so we'll just travel straight across the grasslands. But it's going to be great, guys. I can't wait to share some beans with you and sing some campfire songs. Sit and listen to the herds of goats gently making their goat noises."
Oh Christ, we better pack some extra ale.
And food.
And more ale.
And then some more ale. Then bin the food and get the beer in. Even roughly, I think that's about 28 days.
Oh God.
It's not going to be 28 days.
3 miles a day.
5 hectares, like 25 miles, divide up by 3. 5 days.
Yeah.
My maths has gone completely wrong. Well, it's not 25 days. That's good.
It's not 25 days, so that's a win. Is that it? Is everybody finished on this scene? Nobody have any further questions or any further role-playing bits or anything you want to do?
Apart from wanting to strangle her when you employ her where he stands.
Well, she stands, please. She's a good dwarven lady. She's gruff and rough and ready, and I think Rick's got a bit of a thing for her, to be fair.
No, I mean that annoyingly happy gnome.
Oh, the annoyingly happy gnome. You like to be miserable forest gnomes, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. He's given our race a bad name.
Well, actually, I suppose I could go and have a look in the peculiarities shop to see if there's any interesting peculiarities we could buy.
Okay, well, roll me a D20 then. You got to see Aubrey. A 13. Oh, darlings, it's wonderful to see you again. I just happen to have a new trinket. Wonderful. A tiny silver bell without a clapper. But what happens when you ring it? Nobody knows.
So, it's defective.
No, it's mysterious.
Have you tried ringing it?
No, I reserve that for my customers. It's a snippet 5 gold pieces.
Can I cast Detect Magic and see whether or not...
You can always cast Detect Magic.
Yeah, can I do that and see if there's any magic on the bell?
It doesn't seem to radiate magic. He says, or maybe it doesn't do anything until you find the clapper. Wouldn't that be a fantastic mystery?
No. How would we be finding the clapper?
Well, that is part of the fun. See, you do the adventuring and I do the shopkeepering. It's quite a marvellous balance that we have between us.
No peace.
You sound like David Williams.
Thank you, I guess.
I mean,
You know what?
really do.
At least I don't sound Welsh or Scottish.
I will buy this bell off him. I'll buy the bell off him for the 5 gold pieces, though with a bit of a gruff indication that the bell could very much find its way back into said shopkeeper.
He says, that's magnificent. Would you like it gift wrapped?
No, I'll just stuck it in my bag.
Right. So anybody that went to Aubrey's with him, he is, you witnessed this transaction. Rick, obviously tempted by an absolute bargain there. Is there anything else you chaps want to do? Is anybody doing anything different?
I want to get some rope and 25 pencils then, so we can make little magic hairs.
Okay, you can buy a bunch of rope. That's not a problem. You just buy a long rope and then chop it up yourself. It's the easiest way to do it. Or you buy various lengths if you want.
I'll buy 10, 25 length.
Right. Okay. You're going for the snare then.
Yeah. Well, I get some as well.
While you're in Aubrey's Rick. Is anybody with Rick, or did Rick go off by himself while Dave's off buying ropes at the general dealers? Adabra comes down the stairs and she smiles at you, but she still has this slightly haunted look in her eye, and she says, all right, my lovelies. Word around town is you're going back to Fandlin. I was wondering if I'd tag along. I've had a few weeks here with my cousin, and I guess it's time that I got started building the old windmill up.
By all means, come with us.
How do you feel about goats, though?
Oh, goats is lovely. I've
gone suddenly Welsh.
I've gone suddenly Welsh. Goats is lovely, my dears. I bird a few down in Fandolin. They're a lot easier to keep than sheep, and you get just as much milk off them.
How do you feel about happy gnomes?
A happy gnome is as a happy gnome does. That's what my old mum used to say.
Oh, right. I'm going to use my a spell technically and point my finger over at Etrigal and just send him over a message that just says she must have been touched in the head, and that's it. I am doing nothing, just that.
Okay.
I doubt I'll be able to stop myself from just sniggering quietly.
I've literally took message as a cantrip just so I can insult people behind the back.
Awesome.
She says, why you pointing at good old Etrigal there? What's he done?
Oh, lots of things.
Yeah, but they never caught me at it.
You can call it. We should be going and meeting the others then. Is there a technical leader of this band? Is Sengo the leader?
Of the
unknown party.
Interested party?
Really, to be fair, we usually just sort of like lag it.
Yeah, they're pretty much just muddle through.
We're a collective rather than a group.
Okay.
If I remember rightly, the only time there's ever a leader is if anything needs signing, and I think that's Shashalian. So basically, if there's anybody getting arrested, it'll be him.
Yeah, that is true.
His name's on the deed.
That's the one.
He is the de facto scapegoat.
That's the word I was looking for. More goats.
More goats, yeah. Right, so she says, all right, lovelies, I'll pack my gear up and I'll meet you in the morning. It'll be good to see the old place again, I suppose.
It'd be nice to travel back to somewhere familiar.
Everybody likes windmills.
It's true. Right. So Andy and Rick were there. What are the rest of you? Davey's buying the rope. So where's Sengo and we Rab?
I like to call in somewhere on the way back and buy
the
food. Sorry.
Food as well. Yeah, there's like a general store there that you can buy rations and things like that.
Right.
Right. Sengo, where are you? And where's we Rab?
I was in the shop with Rick.
All right. Okay.
Stocking up on spell components and stuff.
Right. So you head back to your house after this quite joyous job that you've been given. Cowboys, as it were, and waiting for you as far as the Droogle, and he says, "Oh, hello there, boys."
Google. What can we do, father?
He says, can I come in? Can I come in there? I'd like to have a secret word with you. He says really loudly in the street.
I better put the tea on.
Oh, tea. That'd be lovely.
Would you know have a cup?
Go on.
No, Rick. I'm all right there. I don't need a cup of tea, Rick.
Go on, father. You know you want
on.
Right, showing him into your house / barracks. He sits down, flopping his tail on the side of a chair. And whether you put the kettle on or not, that's up to you. And he says, where is you going down to Fandolin, lads? There's nothing sacred in this town. Everybody seems to know you're going down to Fandolin. He says, well, I've got a bit of a delicate situation to let you know. I was taking confession, so I can't give you a name or tell you exactly what was said. But if you're in Fandolin, there's some strange things going about that you need to investigate. There's some new people being given jobs, and according to what I was told in strict confessional, you'll understand that there'll be strange things happening in Fandolin you may need to investigate or ask about. I'm afraid I can't tell you any more than that because I'll be breaking me vows.
So we've got to investigate some weird stuff. That's it.
there's a bit more of a hint, father.
There's some strange new people going around Fandlin asking questions and things. And it may be involved with all of this trouble we've been having up and down the Sword Coast. What with the water and the crazy water creatures and things like that.
Right. Well, we'll find out, I suppose.
He says, "Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much."
What race is he?
He's a dragonborn.
That makes more sense. I thought he was human, which is why I was confused when he had a tail.
Father Drugel is actually a dragonborn priest, owing to a misprint in the module, a misdescription in the module. So he's kind of gormless looking. We've had him with us on one occasion because he was the one that consecrated the corpse of that ghost that was possessing the magic user.
Yeah.
The magic user is now that the ghost has been laid to rest, the repairs on the tower are proceeding, and the magic user is in the house of Thalivar, and you can quite happily visit him if you need any kind of information or you need some magic usery type things being done to you.
Alright, so is that another contact?
Yeah. Gallio. Yeah, Gallio's feeling much better now that he's had some sleep and is a lot less possessed, because apparently that was really messing him up.
Probably doesn't help.
Yes, so those are So are you actually making tea, Rick, or were you just?
Yeah, no, I'll go and stick the kettle on.
Right. Well, Father Drugel will sit and wait for you to make tea. He's quite happy to sit there and sort of look gormlessly around the room. Right. Is there anything else anybody wants to do? Again, or are we prepared for the screen to wipe and then the sun sets and then the sun comes up quickly in the morning? Is there anything you want to do while it's still light?
I'm sorted.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Aha, there you are. Lovely jubbly. Right, well, you wake up at the crack of dawn the next morning. It's a lovely day. You stretch in the bed and you think, what a fantastic day to be alive. Then you remember that you have to ride 25 miles with a herd of giant goats.
Rick's going to put his head back under the covers.
Just put your head back under the pillow. No, just no.
And they call these giant-sized goats are like just normal size to us, normal size folk, or what?
No, they're actual giant goats, the size of like cows.
I wonder what they taste like.
Big goat.
Quite delicious.
I've had goat curry.
How did it manage to cook it with its hooves?
It was very impressively done.
Yes, right. Pitchwit is an excellent goat head, and she is a lady, not a man, so that's good. And the town council also asks you to buy wagons to bring back a plethora of supplies that the town needs. You are given a user's note to hand in at Fandolin so that it's difficult for you to steal it and run away and hand it in anywhere else. Also keeps Andy out of it, not mentioning any names or anything. It's about 21 miles as the crow flies straight across to Fandolin, but it's going to take like about
0.33 days.
Yeah, take quite a few days. With a couple of hundred unruly goats, what could go wrong? Right, so unless, do you want to do anything, or are you moving on to meeting at the settler camp?
I think we should have a hearty breakfast, as hot as we can get it, and then
Yep, sounds like a plan to me.
big pot of marmalade. No, why I seem to think I might.
A big pot of marmalade. That's a strange place for you to go, straight for the marmalade. Right.
Marmalade and grouse, yeah.
Okay. After a hearty breakfast of marmalade and grouse.
That's got to be a dwarf thing, hasn't it?
Has to be, yeah.
Yep.
You head out to the settler camp, and Adabra is there waiting for you, along with Pickwick and a couple of hundred goats the size of cows that sort of are picking the grass and looking at you kind of expectantly, the way that animals do, as if to say, well, what are you going to do about it? So you've got your horses and you've got Dobbin. The only problem is, of course, that you have to keep Dobbin away as he gets close to normal animals, they tend to shy away, and as he gets really close, they tend to panic away. Pickwick looks at Dobbin, Shash, and goes, "What is the bloody hell is that? Is that mechanical? Have you got some kind of mechanics inside that beast? That's fascinating. Do you mind if I have a look?"
Aye, if you want.
Right, so she comes over and she starts poking around and then finds like the Velcro flap you've got to fit the costume onto Dom, and she sort of lets out an exclamation and jumps back, and she goes, that's not a mechanical mount. That's a skeleton.
No, I think he's been off his food for a while. He'll get better.
I'll roll with laughter.
She sort of backs up and goes, I think you need to keep it away from the goats. Cause, I mean, your horses are starting to get used to it, but even so, they're still quite restless about it. Because Dobbin doesn't give a shit. It just sort of stands there. You know, it doesn't. It still performs the movements that a horse would, like throwing its head backwards and forwards to shake its mane and what have you. But it's done in such a weird, robotic, undead way that it's unsettling to watch, to say the least. Right, so gentlemen, we mount up, we set out. Is this correct?
Yeah. So can little people get on a horse?
You need a bump.
Is there a punchline on this? Like,
There really wasn't meant to be.
Generally, they ride ponies, don't they, according to Messer Tolkien?
Yeah.
What about if you're a dwarf? Do I have to ride a pony? I don't really want to ride a pony.
You can ride a normal horse, but you'll need a hand up, and it's kind of embarrassing for you.
Oh,
Great.
I've seen it in the pit. You can ride those giant goats, like the battle of
The Five Armies.
aye.
All right. So does that mean I have to be Billy Connolly?
Aye, well you've got the accent.
Occasionally, then other times randomly not.
Randomly not, yeah.
In the goats.
Right, okay, so you mount up and you start shoeing and herding the goats in a large group towards Fandlin in the best cowboy style. Lucky you've got quite good weather for it. And you spend the first day travelling without any problems. And what I need is some kind of, my lovely, some kind of token to see where you are. There's a blank one, that'll do. Right. So you head out, you get to that hex there, the first day. It's pleasant, you don't have much problems. You spend a little while getting used to the fact that goats wander off a bit because they're not used to moving in a herd like sheep are, and they tend to sort of wander off and eat something that looks tasty, like trees, rubber tyres, pretty much people's washing lines, anything they can get their hands on, or rather their teeth. So you move out and spend a pleasant day learning how to herd goats. Pickwick, of course, prattles on incessantly, asking you about your adventures, asking you about your strange instruments and things like that.
what map are we on, like? Because I've got the Sword Coast map up. I thought you said get the Sword Coast map up.
Yeah, I've shared it for you. Bizarrely, it's showing you as not being shared, Craig.
Yeah, I was going to say it. Nothing's popped up.
Try moving your mouse so that you're not listed as the FK. Although Rick's on there.
I'm moving my mouse.
That is weird. Most peculiar, sir.
Which map should we be on?
Here it here.
I've reshared it.
no.
There.
Coast Fire. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've moved the first day without any hassles, and then you bed down for the night. Presumably half of you are sleeping while half sort of...
I want to scout around the area looking for tracks of any, anything that might eat goats.
Right, okay, go on, Dave. You can roll...
Finds being ethical.
Yeah, there's a lot of wee Rab and Etigal like whispering to themselves and kind of sideways looking at these giant goats when they think people are not looking. Right, 7, Dave. You find no tracks. Well, you find quite a lot of tracks, but nothing identifiable. And then as soon as everybody looks round at wee Rab and Etigal, they sort of like do that off-key whistling thing and look away.
We're definitely not goat pervs.
No, we're not goat pervs at all.
I ride my sheepdog that's cunningly disguised as a mastiff.
Yep. So we've got Andy and Rick on ponies, and wee Rab on a mastiff, Dave on a pantomime horse, and Sengo on a riding horse, I believe. Sounds wonderful. Right, so you spend quite a restless night because it's not normally when you camp out in the wilds. You don't normally have a bunch of bleating goats sat like 10 feet from you, so you have quite a restless night. And the next day you get up, you have a hearty breakfast of beans and ham and goat cheese if you want it. There's quite a lot of goat cheese. Pickwick seems to have brought in a huge supply. Apparently it'll put hairs on your chests.
Do we need to do like head counts to make sure no one's gone missing the flower?
Yeah, you can ride around and do a head count. Give me a nature check.
What goats?
A 1. All right, you have difficulty. You appears that all of the goat herd has disappeared until Etical taps you on the shoulder. You spin round 180 degrees and you are looking completely the wrong way. Oh yeah, there they are. Shush. It appears that the number of goats tally is correct.
Say, I have not eaten one.
Not yet. I believe the term is conspiring, Andy. Charged with conspiring of consumption of giant goat.
Well, I'm thinking.
Reminds me of this story I heard on Cry about took them 3 goes to get these giant tortoises back because they kept on being eaten.
Right, the second day, as you're riding through the low foothills and the grass, shooing the goats on, you notice flying overhead 2 large reptilian creatures, quite high up.
Any idea what they are?
Make a perception check from where you are. We Rabs nailed it, Sengo's nailed it, Etical's nailed it. Right, these appear to be large reptilian creatures. They're not dragons because they've only got 2 hind legs, but they've got large stingers on their tails as they're flying behind them.
Like wyvern things.
Yes, it appears that there's some kind of wyvern. Everybody got really well on the perception checks there, apart from Dave. He's the almost most perceptive. Right, the scenery hovering off quite in the distance, and then it looks like they've spotted the herd and they start swooping down towards the goats.
I did.
Rick is like facing the other way, and you're all sort of peering up into the sky with your hands above your brows, like squinting your eyes. And Rick, and you're going, look, there's 2 of them, and Rick's looking the other way, going, where? No, Rick, round this way.
Okay.
Right, so they were gliding quite far off, and then they've suddenly turned, and the wings have beaten faster, and they're heading towards the goats. The 2 wyverns spot you, and are going to go and fly off. The goats, however, start to panic. Dave pulls his bow out, and are you shooting one, Dave?
Not of the fly. Yeah.
Right, well, you pull out, you knock an arrow, and you aim at them. And what does everybody else do?
I will do an
What's the
Eldritch
range?
Blast at one of the wyverns. If I've it's 120 feet my range, so I'm guessing I've got range there.
Well, right, can we stop playing with the goat herd, please? That would be awesome of you. Thanks. I need to put it on
It's not supposed to be moving around. Who's moving it like?
I meant to put it on a different layer, but I saved it as a token rather than as a thingy. It's a whole GM thing. I know better this time. Right. So Rick, you're definitely Eldritch blasting them, yeah?
Yeah.
You should be able to target it, and it'll tell you the distance.
That's myself. Why am I cocking this up?
I've got
Oh,
one.
no, 130 feet. Damn you.
Yeah.
Bit too far away then.
Right. So you prepare an Eldritch blast, and right. Sengo, what you doing?
Well, there's fuck all I can do.
Right. Okay. Rab, what you doing?
I'm definitely flying away, the wyverns.
They're flying overhead, and the goats are starting to run in all directions. Sengo's just sitting watching them. Dave's got his bow out but isn't firing. Rick is trying to cast but he's too far away. That leaves you and Etical. What are you doing?
I'm going to cast Earthbind at one of them.
Has it got a range of more than 130 feet?
300 feet.
Nasty. Right, okay, go on then. You cast Earthbind, target the beastie and then cast upon it. Right, it Earthbinds. The wyvern's wings are surrounded in yellowish sort of streamers, and they pull in tight, and the wyvern sinks slowly to the ground and lands upon the ground. The other one begins to fly off. Etical, what are you doing?
I've got my best casting finger handy, but I shall hold for the moment.
Right, okay. Because you all just sit there, the herd splits into 2, and half of them begins to run off in one direction. The other half stays roughly where you are, because Pickwick's running round in riding around in circles, screaming and trying to keep them calm. And she's going, the herd split off. The other wyvern turns upon seeing this, wheels round and starts flying off towards the split off half of the herd. I guess we're going into initiative now as wyvern number, whichever one that one is. Wyvern number 2 is now grounded. So,
You are not going after any goats. You are not going out after school.
all right.
Sengo, go kill it.
Oh, it's me first.
Right. So, Rick.
Okay, let's see. Can I move and then
You
see if
can.
I can hit it? Probably have to go next to a goat. There we are. Right, 120 feet. That should be targeted.
Oh, yeah. I can move the goats. We know they're there now. You've seen them. But because people are spinning them about, we will just move them out of the way.
No, the goats have gone.
Half of the goats are gone because everybody just kind of stood there doing nothing.
1921 hit. Damage. 6 damage on a wyvern.
Right, you blast it with arcane energy. It lets out a horrible reptilian roar and starts charging towards you, and therefore the goats. The goats start to run and scatter in all directions. Are you finished your turn?
No, I'm going to cast another one on it.
Oh.
So I get 2 at once.
Bad boy. Remember, Sengo, you get your Dragon Slayer effect on wyverns.
And then I missed completely. Apparently I didn't. I was distracted by all the goats running away.
Yep. Right.
Rick, sheep gone.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Right. You're firing through the giant goats, but the giant goats are scattering in all directions now. All right. Rab, you're up next.
I thought I'd just cast Earthbind.
You had. That's what you did before we went into combat, because David pulled his bow out but had held fire.
I hold the concentration on Earthbind, so it keeps it on the ground.
You can move and stuff as well, though. Or are you just standing there?
I'll move closer towards it.
Okay, you can move 25 feet. If you're running, or if you're riding your mastiff, you can move 30.
Yeah, but hasn't he just run straight into the herd of goats?
Yeah.
Well,
Won't he get rid of cars?
Yeah, that'll do for now.
Okay, Rab moves forward, goats scattering in all directions, like pressing his hands to his forehead, concentrating. Sengo.
I can move 40 feet, can't I?
I've altered your character sheet so that you can move.
Right. Is anybody else's map just jumping all over?
It went slightly to the map bit went on the right.
Aye, it keeps doing it for me. Right, so I'm going to go 8.
Yeah.
So that's me 40 feet, and that would make us, did you say 130? So I'm 90 foot. Let's just check to see if I can
It's number 2 is the one that is grounded. The other one is flying away.
Right. I'm just checking me javelin to see.
That's okay. Take your time, my friend. Take your time.
Right, 30 to 120. Oh, that's cheap.
So you can hit, but you're at disadvantage.
I'm on an advantage because it's stuck. Well,
No, it's just grounded. It can still move. It just can't fly.
it was worth a try.
It was.
Right, which one's number 2? Right, that one. So I'm going to target it, and I'm going to just chance an arrow at it. Shit, sorry, I'm at a disadvantage on that. Well, there you go. That's an automatic miss anywhere in it.
Is that a 1? Is that our first one of the night? Nice.
Yeah.
No.
It will not happen again.
Right, well, it's good to get it out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Is that your turn? You got your bonus action?
Yeah.
Or that's it, you done? Right. Wyvern 1 flies away, chasing the half of the herd of goats that have run off. The Pickwick is now screaming, saying, "You've got to do something!" Right. Wyvern 1 flies off. Wyvern 2 bellows, runs towards the goats. What's his movement speed? Oh, they're quite slow on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. And charges towards you, bellowing, waving its tail in the air. It's doing a hold action for an attack. Shashalian. Okay. You're holding your bow out ready. Nice, you hit.
Do an aim shot second.
You dog.
Oh, God, that's funny.
Nice. Right. So you fire and do huge amounts of damage.
For some reason, it's rolling 2 dice and 1.
Yeah, you got crit.
Got it an advantage.
You mean to hit or to damage? Right, well, I don't know why you're doing that. Maybe you're just cheating, Dave.
I'll ride heading towards the direction that otherwise headed.
Right, okay then. So you can move like 60.
Direction of one head.
It's headed off to the north, following the other half of the
A grid.
north, up. Right, Dave digs his heels into Dobbin and shouts, "Yah! Yah!" like that, and his cowboy hat's on, and his poncho's flailing behind him in the wind, and he rides off in pursuit of the second one, chasing the second herd. Right, Etigal.
Right, bloody map. I suppose I'd better have a pot shot at this wyvern, hadn't I? Oh, well.
Right, the goats are like literally streaming all over this map now, getting in your ear and things like that. But they're moving away from the wyvern, giving you at least the opportunity to attack it.
Right. There you go.
Hooray! You firebolt the wyvern. It screams in pain, but it can't really get away because it's grounded.
And I am going to. How fast do ponies move?
About 40.
Oh, I'm going after the other half of the herd of goats as well. Trying to round the whole lot up.
You're chasing after Dave as well, yeah? Okay, cool.
I know what you do to retrieve a goat.
You go on the outside of where they're running and they'll just naturally run away from you. So if they're running right and you want to get them left, you go to the right of them. I know that from Red Dead Redemption.
Thank God, Red Dead Redemption.
Information from Doctor Who.
I mean, I haven't actually heard of goats before, but I'm presuming it's the same principle. I've heard of sheep on Red Dead Redemption.
Right, okay. It's the end of the round, and we're back to Rick.
Oh, right, okay. Right, well, I think I should probably just try and see if I can hit the wyvern again. Can you tell if it's still targeted?
Do you not have your combat track open?
Yes, I do. No, I can tell it's still targeted. I always forget it's on there. Yeah, blast it. Yeah.
You blast it and you hit, you strike it hard.
Well, that wasn't exactly hard. Right. Come on, not a one. Well, right, I give it a little bit of force. That's it.
Right, you give it a little bit of force.
Bloody thing won't go down.
Fucking bloody pong.
Right, you zap it. It howls, and it's charging towards you still.
Right.
End of round. We grab McTavish, Dave, and Andy are galloping off into the distance. So they're going at full tilt.
Is Rick not the beginning of the round?
Yeah, I said it was new round.
All right.
I will head towards the wyvern, but I will move to behind Sengo. So if it goes, it's going to go for the tank first.
Right, I should be able to do this now, I think. Right, so you're going to head towards the wyvern, but...
I'm off to the right, so I'm behind Sengo.
Right, okay, seems sensible. Right, so you move behind Sengo. Are you doing anything else this turn? Obviously, you're maintaining concentration.
Maintaining concentration? No, I'm just moving for now.
All right.
So I'm going to Dragon Slayer, use my Dragon Slayer with one hand. I'm not going to rage either, to be honest. Oh, actually, sorry. Wait. I'm going to rage.
You are going to rage.
Yeah, but
I would like to rage.
Fucking hell, you won't get allowed to shit myself.
I hope not. That's going to be really distracting while raging.
Yeah, well, there so I get 2 attacks this turn, though, rather than 3.
That's right. You're learning, sir.
I'm fucking raging. Right, so there we go. Target 2. Target again.
Wow, 23 damage. It takes quite the hit.
Magic sucks.
It howls in pain as you cut deeply into it, spraying draconic blood into the grass. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, my favourite type of blood into the grass. Aye.
Draconic.
Draconic blood.
Right. Oh, you missed.
I believe... I'll sort that out, but I believe I probably was wrong because I've been doing it wrong here, there, and everywhere. We've been making it up as we're going along. Right, Wyvern won. He was holding an attack with his tail because basically he couldn't reach anybody.
Yeah.
So the tail was like over its head, ready to attack. Wyvern 1 has flown away quite seriously, far away, chasing the goats. Wyvern 2 attacks back. In pain and anguish, it attacks Sengo with his stupidly high AC. Have you got your shield equipped or not?
I do.
One-handed, yes, you have as well. Right, it attempts to bite you. It hits. The bite is razor sharp, but you shrug it off with your pain. It then makes 2 attacks, one with its bite and one with its stinger. And then the tail lashes out and misses. It scores off your shield and leaves poison drips down the shield. Shashelian, are you riding off the map?
I'll shoot this one a couple of times first and then head off the map.
All right. Well, to catch up with the wyvern and the other goats, you're going to have to use a dash on the mount and just go for it if you want to.
But I still attack it?
No, because you're using your attack action for a double move. Because it's shot off.
Right, I'll dash.
Right, so Dave disappears off the map. It appears on the bottom of this map. Or just disappears altogether, which seems to be what has happened.
Fucked off.
Hey, Dave's fucked off. Oh, bugger. Right, I must have to drag you from the combat tracker again, Dave. Dave, you're on a completely different map now. Right, Dave's ridden off round the side of a hill, chasing the goats, clear targets, and is lost from sight. All right, Dave, so that's the end of your turn. You've got a free action, so if you want to draw your sword, whatever, but otherwise that's the end of your turn.
To clear my target.
I've cleared it for you. Right, are you done?
Yeah. I'll be shouting, yeah!
Ha! Ha! And you're like whipping the horse left and right, even though it doesn't have any effect. You're whipping the reins like on the horse's flanks. Yeah, yeah.
How many people?
I'm hungman horse riders in the sky.
How many people can turn into animals?
2.
Can you not both turn into like sheepdogs and herd them?
That is possibly the greatest thing I've ever heard. Right, Dave, you can see this wyvern is over the top of this thing and it's swooping down and attempting to grab hold of some goats further up. You can't see the rest of the party now.
See the new map.
I know, I'm sharing the map for you, don't worry. Oh, you can all see it, not just Dave. Okay, that's something that I didn't know. Well, you live and learn. I'm saying that a lot with this. All right, okay, Shashalian's turns ended. Etigal. Again, if you wish to catch up with Dave, you'll have to gallop off round the corner, round this convenient hillock and disappear from sight. Or you can fight with these lot.
I'll fight with these lot for the minute, I think.
Right, you fire from ponyback and zap the wyvern for 8 damage. This wyvern's taking quite a lot of damage now. Its scales are burnt and it looks quite angry.
Is there any rules in D&D, Rich, about, if a creature can fly, if it takes so much damage, will that like permanently ground it till it heals?
Sorry, could you repeat that? I wasn't sure I understood it.
Yeah. Is there any rules in the game which, like, obviously a wyvern can fly, so if we do so much damage to it, will that ground it, or is it assumed that it can still fly till it dies?
There's no specific rule, I don't think, but if it's taken heavy damage, it's probably lost the use of one of its wings, I would say. So, like, one of its wings now hangs limply as Sengos lays into it with his sword. Right, Craig, you're right. It says, when you're ready in action...
Get it into the beginning of your next turn.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything on holding actions.
Yeah, it's a ready attack, so it's basically...
There's a bit I could find. Like, you got a book. Sorry, I'm tired.
Yeah, me too. It's not another turn now. You have to wait. It happens when the trigger reactions can and almost do occur on someone else's turn.
I think if it gets to your turn and you do something else, it goes.
Yes, that's right. That's what I assumed it was. Right. I'll look it up properly, but that's what I assume it is. So you can hold your action. Never mind. It's semantics at this point. Right. The wyverns are going last again. This sucks. Rick, the wyvern is badly hurt. Okay. One of its wings hangs down. There's a bunch of panicked goats between you and the wyvern.
Yeah. 10 feet isn't going to be very far around me, is it?
No.
Yeah, it's not. I do not know what to do, which is not fun. Nope, that would scare them further. Ooh. Because Sengo is going to smash this wyvern to pieces, like. So I might try and just race around calming goats.
That is an excellent idea. That is what everybody should have done in the first place. So you can make a animal check. I think it is.
So is the two maps because the goats are split into 2 herds?
Yeah.
And the other wyverns ran into those, aye?
Yeah.
What's the distance?
The distance is round the hill, but you're not sure how far. Right. You saw the wyvern fly off overhead, and then you saw Dave disappear at full tilt round the corner of the hillock.
Quite a good roll, actually.
Animal handling, and yes, you begin to calm a number of the goats. Stand behind me, lads. I'll not let the nasty wyvern hurt you.
Shush.
Goat whisperer.
Shush now, goat bastard. That is all I'm doing on my turn.
Right, good.
Goat calming.
Goat calming, that's a sensible thing to do. Right, Rick calms some goats and does it quite well for a dwarf. Must be something to do with dwarves and goats. We Rab.
I think Sango's got the wyvern in hand.
I'll close the distance with Sengo. Hold concentration. Again for this turn, just in case.
Okay. Right, Sengo. You've faced off against the mighty beast, and it's looking bloodied, and it looks like you've given it a good iron. Look at all of those dice. Right, you take another mighty swing, and again, cut into the wyvern. It looks extremely badly hurt. You bring it round again. Wow. And with a mighty flurry of blows, how do you take down the wyvern with your dragon slaying sword?
So my first hit, my previous hit, I sort of like sliced through, taking one of its wings off just to make sure it can't fly away in case Bracey's things. Then I sort of like do a little parry and then sidestep into a quick lunge and a strike down and tear off its head.
Right. So you stab it in the head, slicing cleanly into the neck, and the wyvern falls dead at your feet. And you're now surrounded by many panicked goats. That is the end of your turn. Wyvern 1 dives down. David hasn't noticed you, and it attacks a whole bunch of goats. It kills 2 of the goats and grabs one in its claws. Wyvern 2 is kaput as Singo has chopped it to pieces. What do you do, Shashalian? Right. So are you moving closer or are you shooting from there? Wow, sighting down your bow, like as the horse gallops towards the wyvern, your arrow sinks in deep, doing quite a considerable amount of damage. Do you want to roll your second one?
Yes, I'll do an aim shot.
No, Craig, you were right. You get to define a trigger, but if it's not used by the end of the round, you lose it.
Right.
So, like, the wyvern was
It's not me. I'm like I say, mate. I was just regurgitating what like you.
I must have checked it up earlier. Right. Dave shoots again, causing massive damage. Right, it drops the goat, Dave, which looks to be dead, and it wheels round, and it looks as if it's flying towards you in anger. End of turn, Etigal.
Right, if that wyvern is down, I shall dash off and help Dave.
Right, you ride off in the direction of Dave to hopefully find him. And you disappear round the hill itself. Right, that is the end of the turn. Rick, you are calming lots of goats.
Yeah, I think I'll continue to do that. It seems sense. Well, I'll continue to attempt it.
Right, you actually scare a few more of the ones you've already calmed down. You do it the dwarven way. You shout at them and go, "Calm fucking down!" And the goats get really scared of them.
No, his allergies kick in and he sneezes, startling several.
Rob, the wyvern lies dead, single, severing its head from its body.
I'm going to wheel out and to the south to try and calm the goats and get them back into a packet.
Excellent. Make some animal handling checks. What I'm going to do is I'll put your mounts as notes on your character so you can see how far you can move while mounted. A 22, right. So we, Rob, working from the northeastern end and Rick from the southwestern end, you managed to sort of herd the goats into a rough, calm pack of goats. Excellent work. Sengo.
So where is Shash to me directionally?
Shash had rode off to the north, following the other wyvern and he's disappeared.
Like northwest to me.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to go northwest 8 squares, like a dash.
Right. Bear with me a sec. I'll see if I can find a horse. A riding horse.
A horse.
Horse, my kingdom.
For
right.
A horse.
A riding horse has a 60-foot move. So if you do a dash, i.e. gallop, make an animal handling roll, and you can move 120 feet. So if you want to put that in your notes, you're just running then.
Aye. I got off my horse, to be honest with you, and
right, that's okay.
Assumed.
Right, so you start running.
I wasn't being lost in the malaise.
You start running towards the north. Right, people with ponies, if you put into your notes, a pony has a movement speed of 40 feet, and a horse has a movement speed of 60 feet. Okay.
80 if you do a dash.
Yeah, but you'd have to make an animal handling roll to
120 if you do a dash. Sorry.
Yeah.
So if I do a dash, do I get more squares?
Yes, you use your your main action to move twice. So you basically.
All right. So I can go 160 then.
No, you can go 80.
Sorry. Right. Sorry. Well, I went 8 squares there, so I can go another 8. So I should turn back up on Shishelian's map. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, that'll take us onto Shishelian.
On the next map, round the corner. So you disappear around the corner. Right, so the next round, I'll move you round. However, round...
I should still be 4 squares. I need to move 4 squares within that map as well once I'm there. Because I can move 16 squares on a dash, can't I? So So I've moved 12 so far.
Wow, Dave, it can move 80 feet flying, so it literally flies up to you. You're on the back of the horse, and it comes at you with claws. Yeah, you and Andy next at the end of this round are going to move on to the other map, right? But with horrifying speed, Dave, this thing wheels and flies towards you. It can use its claws and its stinger on you, so it lashes out. Like the song, Dave sings, "Well, I wasn't expecting that." Right, it hits with the claws and causes a minor slash, but the main problem is the stinger, which misses. And then it's up in your face, clawing and stinging at you. It could exactly reach Shashalit. Right, Dave, you're next. You are holding your bow, however, and this thing's up in your grill.
Right, can I put my bow where, draw my sword and get one attack on it?
Yes.
Right, I'll do that, and I'll tell Strong Hoof to pick it on.
I hate it when you do that, because I have to put him in the friggin' combat tracker. Warhorse Skellington. There he's there. Right, Dave, can you see Warhorse Skeleton now?
You see W.
What happened to the Dobby token that you had, that Rich?
I have it, but because of having to drag things into the combat tracker, I'm going to just have to kill this horse, I think. Right. You're like pulling things out your ass, and then Rick will be like, I'm summoning spirits, and I'm like, and I have to like randomly pull NPCs out of my arsehole. Right.
What is dead cannot die.
Right, Dave slashes at his sword and it hurts. Dobbin raises up on its hind legs and kicks out. And what does it kick out with? Hooves, right, okay, here you go. And it misses, Dave. Well, that
Dave, man.
sucks. Your horse sucks, it misses. It turns its head all the way around, like the Exorcist, looks at you and sort of shrugs and looks quite sad. Alright. Ettergull. You appear on this map. To the map! Right, you appear on the bottom half of this map. You can see Dave fighting a wyvern and a whole bunch of scared goats running around up north, running away from the wyvern actually, so they're heading north faster.
Right. Hang on, I just need to check the wording of something. Oh, no, that's no good. Right, I shall loose a quick spell off the wyvern. On the other hand, maybe I won't.
Okay, that's quite sad. I think your fireball does more damage. Right, so a blast of fire goes just past your ear roll, Dave, singeing your ear hair. You're like, oi, buggery. Right, and
Where off, yeah, boy.
Dobbin kicks and misses. Rick, are you common goats or are you running north?
I know.
Because between you and Wee Rab, you seem to be positioned and you're sort of riding around, holding them and calming them down. Okay.
I will continue to. Do I need to roll the animal handling again?
No. You've got you and Wee Rab, as long as you're holding the position, you've got them under control now. Wee Rab.
If the goats are under control, I will wheel jog around and I will head north to help the lads.
Right, Mastiff moves 40. Again, if you want to put that in your notes somewhere. So horse 60, Mastiff and pony 40. You can make an animal handling roll if you want them to gallop, as it were, and move 80.
Can I use it again for square 5?
Yeah. You only need to make a 10 on your animal handling roll to make them run. Right? You say, "Shaw there," and you and the dog gallop off to the north. Rick, you like make a gesture to say like, "We've got this," and then you see Rab turn around, wheel his dog and gallop off, and you're like, "Oh, bugger!"
Well, I thought we had it.
Sengo, you have appeared you run round the corner of the hillock and you see Shashelian engaged face to face with a wyvern.
So I should have been 4 squares in that anyway.
No, you ran round the corner and then I moved you the next turn.
Okay. Right.
It's not to scale. It's just you appeared on the map.
I'm going to go up and I'm going to target this little wee beastie.
You're mocking my accent.
I am your Scottish bastard. Freedom loving, I am drinking motherfucker.
I'm not sure where all that comes from. I don't think iron brew for dwarves is literally just iron shavings in beer.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Say I'm completely out of breath.
Yeah.
So I'm missing. Oh my god, that's the first time I've ever missed 3 times in a row.
Right, you run up in a fury.
And scored rolled a 5 each time.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, if you add them up, it's 33, which means it's all right.
Right, Wyvern 1 is attacking Dave. Since Sengo has failed to do any
so,
damage.
like, stops and he looks at Senko as if to go, fuck did you say that for?
Right, Dave claws at you, misses. Sting hits with the stinger. Doing 9 damage, you feel the sting of venom enter the wounds. Succeed. Oh god, so you take poison damage. 23 half poison damage. Right, so the venom from this stinger burns its way into your leg. And you're like, how? Your turn, Shashalian. That poison damage is pretty bad for the level of difficulty of a wyvern. 7d6 poison damage. Ow.
I shall attack it.
And you've pulled your shield out at this point because you get free action, presumably.
Yeah.
Right, obviously the pain of the venom has put you off. And but you pull yourself together and strike with the second blow. Nice. Okay, is that your turn? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, no hunter's mark, I notice. Interesting. Right, Ethical.
I need a quick courage to kill a spider. I'll head north on my turn.
Make sure it's not a druid first, though.
I am targeting the wyvern, aren't I?
Allegedly, yes.
I'm just checking because I can't really say on this map. Right, we'll have another bosh with this.
Nice, you blast it with a firebolt and hit. Doing quite a respectable 13 damage. You burn it, it howls in pain. End of round, back to Rick. Oh no, it's Warhorse Skeleton goes up before Rick, apparently. Dobbin's like... Dobbin hits.
Yeah, I'm as surprised as you.
Yeah, Dobbin hits. Right, Rick.
Right, so is it just me with the goats now?
Everybody's run off and left you with a bunch of goats. They're kind of sort of like elongating to the northwest, but they're slowly moving
Pickwick.
around. Pickwick is kind of running around to the south. Again, I need an NPC. God damn it.
I didn't make that one up, though.
You did not. But I totally forgot about her.
Is it... it's probably sensible if I just stay here and try and contain the goats as much as I can, because there's no use me running off to help against one wyvern when you lot are all there anyway. So should I roll an animal handling? Or?
Yeah, roll an animal handling. Pickwick's there, round to the south, trying to help.
Oh, that did not roll.
Doing quite well with a 19.
There we go.
0. Right. So, dude, your failure last turn from shouting at the goat, one goes over and bumps into you, startling you, and then you start shouting a string of dwarven curses, thus frightening off more of the goats.
Maybe I shouldn't have stayed with the damn goat.
Well, somebody had to. Right, Weerab heads off the top of the map and will appear in the map next round. Sengo.
Right, I'm gonna put my shield away. Now what's coming?
Yeah, a mighty blow. You can do that for free as your free action.
What, the mighty blow?
No, the putting your shield away.
Right, so I've put my shield away, and I'm going to attack it with a mighty blow. Oh! I'm going to try again. Oh, hang on. First dragon side, both hands. Oh, mighty strike, okay. So I'm going to try again, this time with just a regular two-handed one.
Okay. Oh, it's a whole streak of missing.
That's +6 as well, you know.
I know.
I'm going to do it again. What?
6 misses in a row. Sengo just...
I turn around to Shashalian and I say, I'm sorry, this has never happened to us before.
Shashalian hands you a monster manual and says, if you just have a look through these monster pictures, I'm sure it'll be okay in 5 minutes. Alright, end of turn. I believe you come out of rage because you haven't managed to inflict damage or take damage. Is that correct?
I believe so, from what I remember.
I think so.
Yeah, so you are exhausted and no longer raging.
I don't get exhausted at my level. We did this before.
Right, because of Sengo's inability to do any damage, it's still focused on Shashalian. Although it is now going to claw at the skeleton because Dobbin, because it kicked him.
Because Rich hates it.
Because Rich hates it and it kicked him, so I'm now going to kill Dobbin. Right, so it claws at Dobbin. It hits. The warhorse is on heavy damage. He's going down next round. The stinger, however, lashes out, Dave. Lashes out at you again. And, it hits again. it pierces into you, and again you feel the sting of venom. You feel the save taking full damage. Oh Jesus!
Oh.
Right, Shashalian screams as the venom roars through his system. The wyvern smiles. It looks at Dobbin. Dobbin on his heavy damage. Shashalian, your turn.
Right.
You need a healing potion, mate.
Or a healing spell.
Well, can I cast Cure Light Wounds is a bonus act, or
No, healing word's the bonus action. Cure Light Wounds is a full action.
well, if I take a potion, I can't attack at all, can I?
No.
No.
10 hit points is plenty.
But if you hit you again, we're at that thing, you're dead.
If you
Or
hit
at least
it
I'm
again,
saving
even if I
for us.
take the potion, I'll be dead.
Depends what you get in your potion.
All right, I shall take a potion.
Okay. Do you have a potion?
Yeah.
Chug away. It should have an effect on your actions. Potion of healing. Not great mind.
You've got a roll, haven't you?
Target yourself. Right, hang on, I'll do it for you, Dave. There you go. Right, roll your potion of healing. Right, you pull the potion out, you rip the cork out with your teeth and glug, 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 and you feel just a little bit better, but the venom still burns through you.
Haven't you got spells that you could have cast on yourself, though? Like, quite good spells?
None that would do as much healing, though.
Alright. You've healed me and given me, like, a good 15, 16 healing points before on a spell.
You could have cast Cure Wounds as a second level spell, or you could have
Yeah,
cast Healing Spirit.
Oh, the barmaid.
Yeah, the barmaid. All right, lovelies. Were you here for the Healing Spirit there, Sengo?
No.
Dave's Healing Spirit is an elvish buxom barmaid who turns up turns up and she's like, "Can I get you a drink, lads?" as she hails you. "Would you like some pork scratchings?" Right.
It's not just an innuendo.
And then before she disappears, she goes, "It's closing time, lovies," and then poof, disappears. Right. Are you doing anything for your bonus action, Dave?
Yeah, healing spirit. I think that's a bonus action.
It's on your action. Just click on it and check. Casting time 1, bonus action, yes. So you cast
Healing spirit on my lucky.
right on top of you. Right, so I actually have found my barmaid token, believe it or not. And the buxom glowing elven barmaid appears next to Dave, and she says, "All right, lads, opening time. What can I get yous?" And Dave gets healed for another 4 points of damage. Nice. Right, that's the end of your turn. Edigal, you see Dave in a bad way. His veins are all standing up, and they're all sort of green, like when the Hulk's in mid-change. He's screaming in pain. He seems to be chugging from bottles and desperately trying to cast spells.
Right, try and see what we can do about Wyvern then on that.
The Wyvern seems heavily injured. It can't fly anymore because one of its wings is damaged or whatever, but that stinger is whipping about, and that seems to be what's causing all of the problems.
Right. Oh,
Right, you blast it with fire, hitting it in the scaly face, and it howls with pain.
good.
But it has not gone down. It's very badly injured, though. Patches of its skills are on it. Right, sadly, Dobbin, given the commands to attack, is going to attack the Wyvern. If he kills it, I swear to God.
If he kills it, I will.
Right.
Oh, well done, Dobbin.
Dave, how does Dobbin kill the fucking Wyvern?
He crushes his skull with
So he raises up on both pantomime legs, looking at you from approval as his head swivels sideways and both of its hooves come down. There's a sickening crack as the hooves drive into the skull, and the force of the blow forces its head straight down into the ground, where Dobbin slowly grinds its head into paste. Right, that
carrots for you tonight.
over with. That over with. The only problem is all of the goats which are running away to the north.
Well, bugger the goats for a minute. Not literally. I shall rush over and bind Dave's wounds.
Right, so you have a healing kit. I've set it up for you, so you can just target Dave and then press your healing kit button.
Right, hang on. I've just got to move them up a bit.
So am I to assume that you are going to suck the poison out here? You're like, hold still, Dave, while I suck the poison out.
Dundee style.
You
Oh,
go, Dave.
that's a nice heal. Right, you feel a lot better as Edigal does whatever he does. I don't even want to think about what he does to you.
Aye, got a little bit of gnome action there.
Right, Bracy, you appear on this map just as Dobbin has smashed the Wyvern's head into the ground into a bloody pulp.
Hey, Rob, you'll not believe what happened. Dobbin killed it.
And Dave, you can do your your 10 heals from your barmaid. Right, so while that's happening, now you just see the other half of the herd. So you've lost 5 goats altogether, but the other half of the herd is running up to the north. If you're going to try and round them up, then you need to make some group animal handling rolls.
Right.
And it is a DC 10, so it's quite simple to make, but you need as a group to succeed more than you fail. Yeah, 2 successes, 3 successes. Right, well, that is enough. So you spend the next hour or so rounding up the stragglers and manage to get the goats all together into one big happy goat family again. Even Rick, who's pretty awful at talking to goats, when you come back onto the other map, you basically see Rick standing there shouting at the goats going, "Well, you bastards, stand still."
That would also be how he'd work if he was a teacher or a bouncer or
Any sort of like motion control.
yeah.
Yeah, this is dwarfish.
If he was playing 10-pin bowling, it would be exactly the same.
Yeah, so we're all back onto this map as one big happy family, except for the barmaid, who after 10 rounds of healing goes, "All right, it's time to close up, loves, and I'll see you next time," and then to space.
It's 10 o'clock. I better go.
All right, shut in time. Right, that was a bit of excitement. So you pull yourself together. Although you have lost a few goats, it could have been a lot worse. So Pinchwit is she's like, "Well, you were fabulous. I know we lost Daisy, and we lost Joshua, and we lost Marvin, and we lost Kelvin, but you know."
Have you got names for all of these goats?
Well, yes, because
Go on, what are they?
she spends the next half an hour going through all of the names.
At the end of which I go, "Fuck me, I'm only kidding."
Does that count as our short rest?
Well, you can push on during the next day, and you can do a long rest overnight. I will give you a long rest when you.
Do I get the heel Dobbin as well?
You don't get the heal Dobbin because Dobbin's an undead, and I'm not sure how undead heal. I'll have to have a look. I think he probably heals in the long rest, to be fair. But whether he should or not, I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Oh,
It's
it
probably
looks
in the
like
monster manual.
exciting.
Not monster.
It's like, how do undead heal? I have no bloody idea.
Probably in the
That's probably a question that's not asked very often.
Yeah. How do I heal my undead warhorse? Right. I just need to open the party sheet. Okay, you did rather well there, chaps. Well done.
How many goats have we lost exactly?
Can I just chip in there, lads? On fifth edition, there is no way to heal an undead.
Have you
I've just googled it.
Oh, awesome.
The positive negative energy duality of the 3rd edition seems to be gone.
Did you Google Alex?
Yeah, Alex, how do you heal an undead?
No, I just wrote how to undead heal 5e.
And it popped up. Wow. Okay.
Polyfiller.
I need to see how
Oh,
much.
it was
I need to
just,
find out how much damage he took then. Oh.
I wonder if I should have took mending and seen if I could have done it that way.
I'm not gonna lie. Maybe. Right.
You used to be able to do necrotic damage on them, which would give them like a negative positive.
Fair enough.
And I've just said some words that I haven't got a clue what I'm saying, to be fair.
No, that is fine. Warhorse
I'm just proving that I can read. I mean, it's like very mechanical right now.
No, it is awesome. He has taken 14. He has taken
Google things.
He has taken 14 damage, and
Sorry, Dave.
He's taken 14 damage and can't be hit. It's Dave that was using him as an extra attack.
It's exactly. Dave used him as a warhorse.
Yeah, Dave used him as a warhorse. That's what you get. And
That's how we ended up like that in the first place.
I didn't attack him back.
Rightly.
We haven't got watch orders set up, so I don't know who's on watch as you sleep overnight for your long rest. Would you mind nipping at the party sheet and say, or just tell me who goes first, who goes second?
I'll go first.
I'll go second.
I'll go third.
Right, it's just so I can mark it on the sheet.
Because is she sure we've only lost 5 goats? Because I could have sworn it was 6. Goat curry, anybody?
Make a deception check. Make a deception check, Edgar. Although there is a dead goat that was killed by claws, so it's not full of poison.
Well, let's just eat that. Is it Joshua? Because he sounded tasty as fuck.
It's a 13, and I am going to roll her wisdom. and 19. She says, no, we lost 5. Sadly, 2 of them have got the full of venom, but the other 3, it'll be a shame to waste. We'll have to bury them or something.
Can we eat one?
Rob, which
Bury
watch
them?
are you on?
Bury them. Don't be
What?
so bloody daft. I say,
And
get
he's
out the
taken
best
to it, I'll
skin
take
and knife.
one.
Right.
So Edrigal volunteers to bury the goats, takes them away and sort of begins to butcher them.
Shash, what are you on? I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I'll get the last one. I've got that trance thing, haven't I?
Yeah, you don't have to sleep. You just sit there with like cross-legged going, om. Right, so yeah, Andy does not manage to whip off one of the live goats. He will, however, be able to.
I will volunteer to bury the goats, and the venom-filled ones will each get their own grave, and the ones that the one that wasn't killed by venom, but at least there'll be another pile of earth.
Make a sleight of hand check, Andy. You should be good at that because you're a tea leaf.
Sleight of goat check.
A sleight of goat check. Nice. So, yes. So, Andy, you obtain, I say that obtain in the best possible way, a selection of the finest goat fillets.
Champion.
Right, that night, the smell of cooking curry wafts over the campsite, which makes it... Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all right. I was just thinking that prestidigitation can make like different smells. So I wondered if, when it's about a waft off from the camp, I can just change it so it doesn't smell like cooking goat.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you got prestidigitation? I mean,
Yeah, I took it as minute as one of
yeah,
the
yeah,
smells.
yeah. So you can make it smell whatever it's like, whatever you like.
I like it smell like roasted pheasant. They won't be scared of pheasants.
Extra portion for Rick.
Right, so you feast upon your pigeon curry, Andy, that night, and it is delicious and filling, and it's a fine change from beans.
I do hope Pickwick enjoys hers.
Yes, she's like, this is amazing. I mean, I haven't even seen any pigeons around here. I don't know where you got the pigeons from to make this curry.
Oh, I bought a brace before we left Leylon.
It's delicious, and there's such large chunks. There must be huge pigeons.
That's what I thought.
Right. So bolstered by your goat curry.
On the weights.
You spend a pleasant full evening. When you're so full you just want to sleep. So you have a lovely long rest and a delicious meal, and then you push on the next day.
We don't have any merriment. I wouldn't mind seeing somebody act the goat.
Oh,
Sorry.
Well, I've got performance.
yeah. If you I wouldn't advise you playing bagpipes around the goats, but you can if you want. But you have that.
Sing us a ditty.
You have that magic stringed lute, don't you, Andy?
I do.
Well, Andy's lute playing is much better than his bagpipe playing, and you can conjure up small illusionary things around you as well. Remember?
Aye, small goats that that gamble and scamper in the air.
Right. So Andy you sit and sing around the campfire with these little goats dancing around his head like a Disney movie.
I wouldn't do.
Do a rendition instead of the Doors with Ghost Riders on the Storm. I do a rendition of Goat Riders on the Storm.
Nice. Fucking nice.
Yes. Right. So you feel fresh and rested. Dave has recovered from his poisoning, and you push on, and you reckon you're 1 day away from Fandolin, and you camp for the night, and during the night you can make a animal handling check, please.
Well, all of us.
All of you, yeah.
What's our Rich? An animal handler?
Animal handling.
Oh, nat 20.
Oh yeah, some nat 20s on the go, eh? Oof.
It'll do something good in it.
Yeah, 6 misses in a row. Wow, single. Right, they are.
It was like coming early, wasn't it?
So we Rab, Shashalian, and Sengo. Right, you notice that the goats are becoming very restless. The bleating is increased and they're sort of shuffling around. And this is during watch 1. You're just bedding down to sleep, and you notice that the goats are becoming restless.
So can I do it is me, isn't it? I'm watch 1, is that right?
Yeah.
So can I do another animal handling to try and settle them?
Yes, of course you can.
And can I also, because obviously it's only me awake, can I also do an investigation, a perception check to see if I can see what's rumbling them? So I'm going to try and calm them first.
Calm them first. with a dismal failure. They're becoming more agitated. At that point, they become so agitated that they wake up Shashelian and Wee Rab.
Piss off.
Yeah. At this point, the wake up Shashelian and Wee Rab, you notice that the goats are becoming extremely agitated, and even more so as Sengo is wandering among them, going, "There, calm down, lads." But he seems to be just upsetting them more.
Right, so can I now do it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can make an investigation there, Sengo. What about you two?
Is it dark yet?
It is, yes. It's dark. It's on the first watch, so you've eaten, you've done your singing, you've eaten for the night, and you've bedded down, and most of you had fallen off to sleep.
I'll wake the others up and check to see if there's any predators.
Right, Dave, you can roll your tracking with advantage. It's nature, isn't it? Or survival? Survival, you can roll with advantage. Right, Bracey, what were you doing, sorry?
I just wanted to know if it was light or dark, because we've got night vision, sort of, haven't we?
It is dark, yeah. Well, it just means that instead of it being like pitch black, you would see it as if it was twilight. And if it was twilight, you'd see it in shades of grey, but as if it was daylight.
Yeah. Well, I'll have see if I can find out what's bugging them as well.
Because I've got the book in front of me, I've been having a look, and there is a spell called True Resurrection, which, let's face it, no one's going to get because it's 9th level necromancy. But that allows you to return an undead creature to restore it to its non-undead form. I think that would be the only way of healing the warhorse, pantomime warhorse, turning it back to its non-undeady form, and then it wouldn't be as fun.
Right, hang on. So you had.
So make it a horse.
I'm just making it. Right, It's now got permanently 8 hit points. But if you remember, he had 22. Oh no, it'll be in the monster manual. So he now permanently has 8 hit points. But that's Dave was using it to attack with. So I will kill that fucking horse. It was funny at first, but now it's just an extra attack.
Now we just need to find a 9th level necromancer.
Right. So Dave, it's been clawed.
Send him up
So part of the costume's been torn away and some of the bones are broken. So it's now got half a Dobbin face and half a horrifying skeletal face.
And a really saggy limp.
And a really clippy cloppy limp.
Does it sort of like play the bones when it walks like a bone wind chime?
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. Right. So, Sengo, investigation 10. Right, you're looking around, but you can't really tell anything. Dave, you think that the animals are possibly being spooked because of something in the area. And just at that point, on the far side of the herd, you hear a bah, which is suddenly cut off with a low thunk noise.
Head towards the sound.
Right. How are you doing that? Are you pushing me through the goats? Are you sneaking? Are you running? Waving your arms going, yeah.
Sneak.
Oh, I'm sneaking.
Go on, make a sneaky roll then. Right, okay.
I don't believe it. He's out sneaked me.
Yeah, right. So, Dave, you are sneaking, and on the opposite side of the herd, you see. Let me just move you. So you've sneaked through the herd and you're hiding among the goats. And
Is it rustlers?
is Etigal?
I'm snaking round the edge.
Was Etigal awake though?
Yeah, Dave said he woke us up.
All right, he woke you up. Right, so you're sneaking around the edge to the south or the north.
To the north from where I am.
So you're sneaking up that kind of way. Right, Dave, you see a large, primitive-looking humanoid carrying a club and wearing a loincloth. It's bonked a goat over the head, and it seems to be carrying it off towards the northeast. The goats in the area are sort of milling around, running away, and starting to panic.
Right. Now, hang on.
I love your casual use of the word boinked.
It boinked it on the head. Obviously, Andy's not the only one that likes a bit of goat curry. That is all I'm saying.
Well, hopefully he's only making goat curry with it.
Well, he will make goat curry with it afterwards.
That again.
Tartram, does he have a Welsh accent?
Wow. Okay. All right. So what's happening then?
Is it just Dave and Andy doing something here?
Well, you were investigating around, but those have
Right, so
headed
I'm
off
gonna-
towards the noise.
I'm going to sort of like
Is-
skirt around the outside of...
Dave, did you shake everybody awake?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. You shake everybody awake. So
I'm going to skirt around the outside of the pack.
Right.
Pack, the herd.
Okay. Wee Rab,
Can-
what are you doing? Sorry.
If
What?
the goats starting like scatter, I'm going to try and get them back into a pack.
Yeah. The moving away from where you haven't seen it yet, but where Shash has spotted this giant creature. And to be honest, it looks like the ones that you met before in the Shrine of Savras.
I'll try and calm the goats.
Right,
and
go
then-
on. Mate, an animal handling. Sorry, Craig, what were you saying there before? You said, can I?
No, you answered us, mate. I said, can I walk around the outside the herd?
And Rick, finally, Rick.
I'm going to, once I wake up, I'm going to cast Detect Magic to see if there's anything around here.
Right, that is 60 foot. What's your dark visions? Everybody's got 60 foot dark visions, apart from Sengo, who's got crazy ass like 120.
I think it's 129.
160.
So I can see everything. I just can't see past the goats. But if I think about it now, I'm in the field of vision, so I will be able to see it.
Yeah, you can actually see everything. So, horrifyingly, in the darkness, right, you can see Etigal and Shash that focus on their concentration on these giant figures. You can actually see beyond their field of vision another 7 of these big creatures of varying sizes. A couple of them look like females because they've got like female bits, and a couple of them look like smaller that may be grown children, but it looks like there's 8 of them, whereas Shash and Etigal can only see the 1. The other 7 are like creeping hunter-like towards the goat herd, whereas the one who's bonked the one on the goat on the head is creeping away from it.
So they look like they're going to come and take more goats.
Yeah, I'm going to put them on the map, but you remember, guys, you can't see them.
Are they trolls?
They're humanoids.
Large, primitive-looking humanoids.
I'm thinking of that bit in The Hobbit.
I'm thinking of the Billy Goat's Gruff.
That's a troll, isn't it?
I'm
Right.
thinking of getting on my pony and going home.
Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?
So,
Bastard.
so you can only see the one, Andy, at the moment. Remember,
Rich, how big do I ascertain that they are?
the smallest ones are about 8 feet tall. The taller ones are up to about 12 feet tall.
Right,
Sure.
so they are trolls, aren't they?
All little giant people.
You've fought them before. They look like ogres. They look like a family of ogres have come to snaffle all of Andy's goat curry. But
These are the things we fought at that ruined place where the orcs and the ogre
Aye, there was only 2. Where
I don't
Bracer
think
was
I
on the
was
top,
there for that, was I?
and he brought
Yeah,
Moonbeam down.
we had enough bother with them.
yes,
Yeah, we
but
only
that was
did, but-
you were like 3rd level then, Andy.
Yeah, I was going
Right,
to say.
Shash, you actually
fought
see
2 of them.
the second closest one is just at the edge of your dark vision, is creeping in towards them. You can't see the others though.
Because I'm standing next to Andy Rich, can
Yeah.
I sort of like tap him on the shoulder and say someone coming? Can I
Yes,
tell him.
you can say that.
So I tap Andy on the shoulder and I tell him what I've seen. And Kalash isn't here, is he?
Andy, horrifyingly, you realise there's no bushes on this map.
Yeah, there's
But
goats.
there are a number of
Hiding
goats to
among
hide
the goats.
behind.
There are many goats, and you can only see the first one, Andy, as well. I'm just using your character to measure distances. Dave, you can just see the second one creeping in, and Sengo with his stupid ass drow infravision can see everything in the darkness. So Andy, he taps you on the shoulder and goes, "There's 8 of them. They're coming."
I'm out back or bollocks.
So Andy, can you not run back to Rick and Wee Rab
And warn
tell them? Aye,
Yep,
and tell like
consider
corral the
it done.
troops. But we
Consider
do.
it done.
We can't. We also need. I'm forgetting the name of the. Is it Percival or something?
Pickwick.
We need Pickwick to keep control of the herd,
Yeah.
and we need Pickwick to keep control of the herd. So Andy needs to tell them. I'm going to sort of like creep through the goats to sort of like to warn Shash. So I mean, I can just walk essentially, can't I? Because the goats are going to cover any sort of like sound I'm going.
Any sound, and anything. Right, so as you walk that way, the one who's dragging the unconscious goat moves there. Dave, as Sengo moves up behind you, you see another one of these giant ogres creeping towards. They're not lumbering, they're like primitive hunting modes, so they're kind of sneaking, even though they're big, and they're stalking the goats and using, sort of the darkness to sneak upon them. But you can definitely see them approaching now. Right, they move forward. Sengo comes up to you, taps you on the shoulder, and what do you say, Sengo?
Fire a warning shot at them.
Can you use a fairy fire?
I can use fairy fire. Aye, absolutely.
Can anybody remember if ogres are scared of anything like fire or?
You'd think
Ice
fire. I was
or-
going to say fire. Like, would that not scare them? I'm sure I've got something, like an intimidating shout that incapacitates them, but I cannot remember where it is.
I've got the book. I'll have a look.
Right. Okay. In the meantime, Rob, you stayed at the back with Rick. I used just standing at the back trying to calm the goats. You see Etigal comes sneaking out from the goats, and then as he breaks free of the goats, he runs towards you. Are you waving your arms at them, Andy, or just...
Yeah, well, I shall weigh up first because it's easier. I shall hold up 8 fingers and mouth ogre in Gnomish and then point north. And I presume Rick can see us, so I shall gesture him over.
If he was within 60 feet, then he can.
Yes.
Are you part of the Berserker line?
Yes.
He is. I'll wave Rick over so I can tell him as well.
Right, Rick, Etigal has come running out of the goats and he's waving his arms about. The goats are restless. He's like mouthing and saying, "Come here, come here." And you've managed to get her over, Pickwick, who's absolutely terrified, and said, "Keep all the goats calm, because shit is going to get real."
Have I got that then, Darren?
I think so. There's an intimidating presence, but that's at 10th level.
Maybe that's where it is. Then I've read on.
With your menacing presence.
Yeah, aye. That's probably what I've read on. So I'm going to cast Fairy Fire, Rich.
Okay, target whichever ogre you would like, and then cast your Fairy Fire.
I'm going to check the distance on it. 60 feet. 2.
If you click on yourself and then click on the ogre, it'll actually tell you the range.
I haven't got the map.
Right, so I'm going to cast it on this fella here, ogre.
Right, just
Doesn't see it.
click on him and
then so I've clicked it, and now I'm going to
and then just hit cast.
cast. Do I do attack? Because I've got cast, attack, or save. I don't
Right, okay. The differences are cast is supposed to do everything for you.
know. Right, I'll do cast.
Okay. Right, it fails, so that has worked. So click for instances like this when it's only partially worked, that's why you've got the 3 separate buttons. So you've got Fairy Fire, and then you just click attack effect, there you go, and then right, what colour flames are you circling the ogre in? That one.
I'm going to go for like something that I think will sort of like intimidate, like purple, because they're like unnatural colours. So like he might shit himself.
Right, so that was the ogre that was walking away holding the goat. Yeah, the goat is dead.
but
It's had its neck snapped, and it's dragging the
He's
goat.
walking towards them, so now he's gonna like all the other ogres that he's walking towards are gonna see that. They're gonna be like, "Oh fuck." Oh.
Yeah. So basically.
I mean, I'm presuming ogres are more articulate than I've just been now.
I'm not sure.
Right, he rolls a 1 on his wisdom check. Right, so the ogre sort of looks down at his hands, sees himself glowing purple, goes, "Oh," and then starts like beating his hands as if he's on fire, trying to put it out, thus alerting the goats. The goats start to run away in earnest, and the other ogres next to him sort of turn to look and see what he's doing. And the ogre is like patting himself, trying to put the fire out, and not understanding what the hell is going on. That's okay. Right, so now what do? Are we going to initiative, or are we...
I'm gonna
because you've got a surprise round where you've got advantage if you do anything now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go, and I think me and Andy, before we do initiative, should attack them from a distance. I'm going to javelin one of them, and I think
you told Andy to run all the way back around the other side of the herd. He can't see them because.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking about Dave.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay.
Just sending on.
So you can whisper to Dave. I think we should attack them while we have the advantage, but it's up to Dave what he does.
What do you think, Dave?
I think Dave will run away. I mean, if
Do they look like they're sort of like shitting themselves and gonna run away? Or
They
do
don't,
look like
no.
Like really right. We need
Right,
to
so
attack
the one
Dave
that's
as
standing
we've got
next to him,
advantage.
so the one that's walking away looks like it's one of the young adults, so it's not big. The one that's standing next to him is like a big older matriarch figure, she's got straggly hair, she holds a big fat meaty finger up to her lips and goes, shh, and then bats it on the head with a club to shut him up.
Right.
And then goes, "We is sneaking."
Right. So I've got 30-foot range, and I am going to.
Right, so just let me roll because she's an ogre, so she does a full on and has advantage and bashes him on the head for 18 damage. There's a sickening crack as she cracks him on the head, and he goes, "Oh, we're supposed to be quiet." And she goes, "Shh, we are sneaking." Right, so at this point, you have all heard the ogre's being stealthy. He stops, and then they see the fire, and they're like, "Put it out," and they start beating on him, trying to put the fire out on him. Now, you can have your sneak attack. What are you doing?
So while this is happening, and did you say I've got advantage?
Yes, because they're completely oblivious.
So whilst this is happening, I'm going to shoot a crossbow arrow. Dave, are you going to attack them as well?
Yeah.
So I'm going to shoot a crossbow arrow at this. Say the one on the sort of like northeast, the closest to us, the one who Richard's twatted him. I'm gonna shoot a crossbow at her.
You hit. Right.
Which one that's been hurt?
The one closest to us. So the one closest to us.
You can just see, Dave, that it says wounded, and it's the. Hang on, let me. That's the one that's been hurt.
Yeah, that's the one she hit.
Yeah, she bashed him on the head, right? I'm going to make an intelligence roll. If he fails, he's going to throw himself on the ground and like drop and roll to try and put the fire out. Yeah, he fails. So he throws himself on the ground, thinking he's on fire, and starts thrashing about on the floor. He is now prone, which means you disadvantage to hit him, but then advantage for the thing, because shooting at a prone character further than 5 feet away is a disadvantage.
But
Right,
I didn't shoot him though. And
no, you didn't. You shot the other one.
Under him.
Right. It was only a little bit of damage. You shoot her in the arse and just like slaps it as if she's been stung by a bee and goes, ow! Right.
Motherfucker.
The prone one, Dave, click disadvantage, but it should roll normal because you have advantage for the fairy fire because he's prone. He's now rolling around on the floor trying to put himself out.
But is that the one you're attacking though?
Or are you attacking the one that Sengo's just shot in the arse with the crossbow bolt?
That's one in the they've got the crossbow.
Right, I don't care. Just target it and shoot.
I can't tell which one is.
That's the one with the crossbow bolt in their arse. Yeah? That's the prone one rolling around on the floor trying to put himself out. The rest of the ogres have stopped and are watching this spectacle and are like trying to whisper but going, we are supposed to be sneaking, will you shut up? So they've all stopped advancing and they're all, you can see by the direction thing, looking at the one rolling around on the floor. So are you shooting that one, Dave?
Yeah, do I get advantage at that one?
You do, because it's a surprise round. But after that you'll be on normal to hit.
Right.
Alright, you miss with your aimed shot. So the arrow disappears, but you get a second shot.
Right,
You were unlucky, Dave. Ogres are not that hard to hit. Right, you shoot and hit with your second. Right, this time there's a considerable hit. The arrow sinks in deep and she howls in pain and spins around to face the group. Now we're going to go to initiative. He's running on the floor. She's now got an arrow. She looks badly wounded, Dave. Badly wounded. We are going to roll some initiatives. Roll all initiatives. And who gets to go first? The goat herder. Oh, there's a shocker, eh? Right, so she's going to try and calm the goats because she gets advantage.
Oh, bloody hell,
Right, she's not doing well calming the goats. Next up we have Sengo.
Right.
You can pull your sword this turn, but remember you can't pull two weapons at the same time. So you can pull your sword and charge in two hands, and then get your shield out next turn if you want it.
Right, well, I best take my shield. See, I'm wary about now. I've got like the almost after what happened last time when I ended up running headlong into a fucking army of people. Nobody followed us. Everybody just sort of like stood there watching us. I'm a bit.
Right, Rick, have you gone over in this surprise round to where Edigal is? As he was,
Yeah, I could
right.
do. That
So
would be a good idea.
yeah, so you lot are sort of here while Edigal's telling you what's happened. Then you hear this roar of pain as somebody shoots somebody in the arse with an arrow. And then it sounds like all hell's breaking up from the north. What are you doing now then, Sengo? You can continue to throw javelins from the edge of the goat circle, but the goats are dispersing as they've started shouting and going, will you be quiet? Oh, I've been stung. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. This sort of thing's going on. So the goats are now trying to move away from the ogres as fast as they possibly can, and the goat herder has failed. So towards Etigal, Rick, and Wee Rab, you see the goats are starting to charge towards you.
Right.
You can throw javelins if you like and stay within the cover. You're going to lose the cover at the end of this round because the goats are going to move away. Because
Obviously, Rick's quite short, but he'll be coming over that way.
Yeah.
In terms of physical combat.
Right. Is anybody going to engage with us?
They're just quite far away and they have to run round.
That's the issue. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to hold my action.
You can throw your javelins, or are you holding an attack in case something moves up there?
I'm just going to hold your javelin.
Right, okay.
Crossbow, sorry.
You're going to fire your crossbow. Okay, you already have that out.
Crossbow does damage.
It's fine. Right, you shoot with the crossbow, it hits. Doing 7 damage. The ogre looks badly wounded. It's heavily wounded. All right, next up we have Wee Rab. You hear this commotion to the north. Eticle's informed you that there's a whole bunch of ogres with goat curry on the menu.
Right. In that case, I'm going to start moving around the outside of the goat as fast as I can to get round to the fight.
So you're doing a dash.
Rich, could I have used my action to put away my crossbow and get my shield out?
That's a free action, yes. You can do that at the end of the turn.
So I've just getting that out, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Why is there two wee Rabs on the map?
There's 2 Ricks as well.
There's not on my map. I
Rick
can't.
where he used to be and Rick where you moved him over. I'm suspecting Wee Rabs may be similar. I don't think it'll matter though.
Oh, there's 3 wee Rabs now.
There is 3 wee Rabs.
Okay, I'm only saying 1 because I'm host. That's just weird. Right, just
Host.
yeah. Right, leave it there a second. I'm going to stop sharing the sheet and then I'm going to reshare it. There you go. Right. So you're doing a dash action so you can move 50, which is 10 squares if you're running flat out. I believe Andy can double dash because he can use a bonus action to dash as well and move 75.
That's 10 squares.
Right, you run around the outside of the goats so you're not impeded. If you move through the goats, it counts as difficult terrain because obviously they're getting in the way. Okay, Wee Rab has done. Shashelian.
I shall shoot her again.
Right, okay. She's
Do
looking.
I still have advantage or not?
No. It's the end of the surprise round, so you're just shooting normal.
I do a 1 aim shot at her.
You miss, sadly.
I do a normal shot.
Right, the second one hits. You get. She is wounded as well. So right, she's extremely heavily wounded. She's limping a bit and she's bleeding profusely from several wounds.
We'll cast mark on it as a...
Okay, so you should try applying the effect, see what happens. If it doesn't work, we can go back to the old method. Right. She shouts, "Get them, lads! We've been seen!" As arrows zip into her. Etical. You can move around the side at normal speed, or you can move through the middle of difficult terrain. If you do double dash, you can move 75 feet in one go.
Looks like I'm getting damage to myself.
Right, I'm going to... Right, hang on. I'll be moving this turn, that's all. I'm just checking where I'm going to finish up.
Okay, are you just doing lots and lots of movement?
Yes. But what I want to do is I want to get on me pony so I can say across the top of them goats.
Right, so you're going to spend the whole round moving to your pony and then mounting up if you want to do that, because presumably it'll be close by, but not
Right.
so close.
Yep, that's fine.
right.
I shall put myself over there.
Right, so you leap upon your pony, no problem. Right, Ogre 1 rolls on the floor, attempting to put himself out. Yeah, still thinks he's on fire. Starts shouting, "I'm on fire! Help us! Help us!" All surprise lost. Ogre 2 charges and she runs straight into the goats, takes a swing, and I give her an intelligence perception roll to see if she can spot you. An 8. No, so she just runs into the outskirts of the goats and starts beating upon the goats. Okay. The goats start bleating like mad and run. The rest of the ogres charge as she shouts, "Get 'em, lads, get 'em all!" So they all run down this way. That is their turn. The end of the round, the goats will have moved away, leaving you and Shash exposed. Right, so ogres. Lots and lots of ogres. Warhorse Skeleton Dave, are you telling Dobbin to attack?
Can you hear the expectation in his voice? He's like, "Go on, Dave. Yeah,
Right.
I know you want
Okay, I'll remove Dobbin from the combat tracker then, eh?
it. Run, Dobbin. Run like the wind."
Run like the wind. Rick, last in the whole world.
No. Could I get where Wee Rab is?
Yes, if you do a dash, you'll move 10 squares.
I don't think I can see the squares on this. I don't know why. Right.
I can
Dash would be my action, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll have to do that. That's me then.
Right, so you dash over it, no problem. That is the end of the round. The goats part and start to panic and run south. The commoner attempts to calm them. Pickwick goes, "It's all right there," and gets a 17 and actually starts to calm the goats a little, which is good. Sengo, you're up first.
Right, so chickens, I'm going to rage.
Yeah, the goats have moved to the side, exposing you and Shashelian.
Yeah, well, I'm going to rage.
I would like to rage.
Panic, fucking human.
We'll get through this round and then we'll call it because it's 10 o'clock.
Right, so I'm going to jump at her and rah.
Okay, boogie. Right.
And then I'm going to.
Yeah, you've used your free action to pull your sword, so you now you've got sword and shield. Yeah, AC 21.
One-handed regular strike.
Yeah. A 25, you hit. How do you kill the female ogre?
Hamstring her, then slice the back of her neck when she guns down. But her neck's that thick, I kind of gun through it.
Yeah, so you chop at it, and there's a sickening thud and then a crash as she crashes to the floor.
So
Dead.
Before she clashes down, I sort of like do a little spin and like pull out my sword and then run at this little bastard here.
Yeah, because you can reach that one. So you, as you pull your sword out, you pirouette round, spinning round, and use the momentum to spin onto the next one.
I'm just doing sort of like a little, like it's like almost like a ballet move.
Yeah,
and then
nice.
Sort of like use the momentum to swing. He's back, lads. He's fucking back.
Right. You slash the ogre with your second attack, and he goes, "Ow!" and then raises his large, his overly large club. Right, we ram. You can move to the side and then actually see the ogre in the end, or you can dash and try to get closer. It depends what you want to do.
I will. I'll just move up normally.
Oh, the squares have just become more prominent. Have you just done something?
Yeah, I'm just doing that because
I've been zooming in like fuck to count the squares, like, because it was really hard to see. I didn't realise you could do it like that.
Oh, right.
yeah. Can you see the grid better now?
It's still blurry, but it's much better than it was.
Right. Well,
If you do with the arrow,
That's
you
better.
can just move
That's well better.
one bit at a time, so you can work it out.
there you go. How's that for you? Some nice grid.
That's my normal movement done.
Right. So you still have your normal action and bonus action.
Cast Shillelagh.
I believe you can only see the closest one as well.
Yeah, because it's dark.
Because it's dark and you've only got 60-foot vision.
Ooh, I want to get much closer.
So that's what spell you're casting is Shalala.
Shillelagh.
Right, you cast Shillelagh upon your stick. Fabulous. And is that your turn? Yeah?
Yes.
Shashalian. When you finished your turn, there is an actual button on the combat tracker that says next actor. That's the end your turn button, and it'll automatically move on to the next person if you want to do that.
Like?
It looks like a dragon at the bottom of the combat tracker.
Oh, right, turn
So-
complete.
Yeah, so if you finished your turn, just click that, because at the moment I've been doing it. Right, Shash fires again, but misses. Oh no, he hits with the second attack. Doing a big hit to the ogre. Well, one of the ogres, I'm not sure which one. Whichever one he's aiming at, that one. Right, so a shaft protrudes from the ogre's shoulder. Sengo comes whistling overhead. And then, as you can see, Shash moves behind you so that the other ogres are between Sengo.
Shash begins his retreat.
Yeah. And then, is there anything else you're doing, Dave?
You can move further back than that, you know, Dave. It would probably be a good idea, actually, the damage you can do with arrows.
Did you do your Hunter's Mark? Did it roll the Hunter's
Yeah.
Mark damage?
Yeah, it did it.
Awesome, so that's working. So all we need now is we need a Hunter's Mark condition, don't we? So we can keep a track of which one's which. That ogre shouts, Hunter's Mark! Right, is that your turn, Dave? Hit end turn if you're complete.
And 10.
Done the combat tracker?
Bottom left
Looks
of
like
the
a dragon.
combat tracker.
Told you it's a dragon. I mean, I can do it, it's just obviously
On the bottom left.
I have to keep asking you if your turn's finished. I'll do it, okay?
Fancy dragon.
Have you got the combat tracker?
Right, Etigal, you mount on your horse, on your pony, who can now move 40, or if you get him to gallop with an animal handling roll, can move 80.
Hang on. Every time the map goes to me, it like pings off and I have to keep centering it. So
Yeah, it does that with me.
just give us 2 seconds because I was doing well. I had the combat tracker up and everything, and now it's all just gone to shit. Right, hang on. The ogre that's Hunter's Mark, is that the one that's fairy fired as well?
No,
No, the fairy fire one's to the just above
this
them.
is the fairy
Oh,
fire one.
Right. Hang on.
Actually, I might have a fairy fire, which would be awesome.
Right.
I have a hex, but I don't have a fairy fire.
Can you not change the colour of that to purple? And then that's essentially what it would be.
Right, so but he's on the floor, he's prone. So
Right.
if you're not in 5 feet of him, you're at disadvantage to hit him.
Right, but we'll get advantage for the fairy fire, don't we?
Yes, but you'll have to. You can't see him from there because there's a whole load of goats in the way.
But I'm on top of my pony so I can say over the goats.
Yeah, okay. You can see the other. You can't. You're more than 90 feet away. You've only got 60-foot dark vision. You can see. You can see the glow of the thing, but he's lying on the floor. I know you're on your pony, so you can. He's like still not in view because he's lying on the floor. and you're slightly elevated, but you're not high enough up to see him.
Right, well, how can I say then?
Anyone?
The
Nobody.
hunter's marked one.
No, you've got to be within 60 foot because of your dark vision's only 60 foot.
Right, so I can't say anybody then.
No, you can see a faint glow of fairy fire, but not enough to target by.
Right. Animal handling roll, I think, and I shall help what's her face with the goat, since it's the only useful thing I can do down here.
Be me.
Right. Oh, hang on. See if this works.
And are you moving towards the combat?
I have. I've hopped on the horse or on the pony, and I'm heading back towards the combat.
Right, okay.
Since I can't say anything, I'm just helping Pitwick with the goats at the minute. But
You can do that while you're moving. You can be heard as you're moving towards them. I will allow it.
Right.
Right. So Fairy Fired has got the circle around him. Andy's got prone around him, and the other one's Hunter's marked. Right. We are sorted. Right. That was Etigal. And Ogre 1. Ogre 3. That is Hunter's Mark Ogre. Right, Sengo, he attacks you with his great club. And he misses. That was a big hit. Ogre 4, prone, is still prone, trying to put the fire out. Give him an intelligence check. He gets a 4. No, he still rolls on the floor. Going, oh, help, it's not burning. It's not burning. And then trying to put the fire out. Ogre 5, though, has seen you guys and they are moving towards you. They move 8 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, he just gets into range and takes a mighty swing at Dave with his big club, Dave. Oh, and he hits. Right, he clips you on the shoulder, doing a minor wound. Ogre 6. Right, charges down towards Sengo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, just in range there, Sengo. You're lucky though, because they're so big that they're blocking each other off. I mean, lucky is a comparative term. Do you know what I mean? Right, he beats you with his great club. And misses. Oh, you've got AC 20 now, haven't you? Some crazy ass shit. You just stand there and go, bring it, Ogre boys.
It would have missed his rope, Michelle, to be honest with you. The little fucking bitch.
8. He doesn't get to attack this turn.
You dare threaten Sango with such a puny weapon?
Right, he comes down here but doesn't get to attack this turn. Right, Rick.
He could attack us, couldn't he? He's right next to us.
No, he's not. He's not adjacent.
Oh, okay.
Unless he's.
I don't know why I was encouraging that, to be honest with you.
But because you said that, I'm going to check his range. No,
it was like I walked in on me.
It's 5 foot range, so no, you're out of range.
All right. I just thought because he was massive and he had a big club, I thought he would have a bigger range.
Well, I'm massive and I've got a big club, but I don't have that much range.
Steady.
Hello, Rick. You're last. You're last this turn.
I am. The squares are tall, so could I just, with normal movement, move up to next to Wee Rab?
Yeah, what's your move? 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So you are next to Wee Rab, and you can see
60 foot.
So he'll see all of them, except for the prone. He'll see the prone one, that's very fine. He'll just not see the one northwest.
So I should. That's 45 foot to that one that's just moved down.
Right, that's a 60-foot square. So yeah, you can see all of them in that range.
Well, that one that's straight in front of us, I'm gonna Eldritch
Andy,
Blast.
as you can see, you can't see. Can you see that? Yeah.
I can't see shit.
Combat tracker.
You can't see shit.
I can't.
Yeah.
Bracy, you can see all of them.
Man.
All of them. So the rest of you
I
can see all of them. Andy can't see shit.
Blasting Ogre 1. And I
That
missed
explains the squelch, Andy.
it. Blast again. And cock up again. That was my turn. It was mostly cock up.
Right, so yeah, so you do the Iron Man thing of you go pew pew and blasts go off into the darkness. Right, gentlemen, so that is the end of turn and it's 10 past 12, so I think we should call it there.